Yo, what is up guys? Today I got the new patch notes for the big patch 6.2 guys. So let's read through it. There's a lot to talk about. I haven't seen any of this yet. So let's read through it and give you my thoughts on it. So, tonight on Wild Rift, a brand new arrival steps onto the scene. Aurora. I think Aurora is a mid laner, but I'm not sure. And she's bringing more than just icy vibes. We've got a fresh ranked system, a Marksman glow up, so ADC glow up, gameplay pace changes that'll keep you on your toes faster than the surprise tags. That's not all. We're also launching skins, no one cares. But this is insane, our brand new player behavior system. So if you behave badly, you're not going to be able to participate in ranked matches anymore. Let's just say good behavior has never looked this good. Stick around because this patch is full of twists, turns, and quality of life updates that will make your head turn. Content will be released through the patch. So we got Aurora. I've played a bit of TFT before, and I know that Aurora can throw champions or something, but we'll see. She's coming tonight already? Oh boy, I gotta make a video on that. Okay, nice. New features. This is really important. Player behavior system. Let me drink some water. So, with the launch of patch 6.2, we're introducing our first ever player behavior system. To learn more about the new system, check out our in-depth article here. You know what? Let's check it out real quick. I want to check out the player behavior system. It's not much, so let's actually take a look at what it is. And the feature we're most excited to bring to you this patch is our brand new player behavior system. We know that this has been one of the most requested features since we released Wild Rift, and we're happy we can deliver it to you. In our patch preview, David Zhu mentions a little bit about the system, but we wanted to do a deeper dive. Let's see what our new players behavior system that is launching in patch 6.2 is all about. Why? Of course, one of the main reasons we are bringing this new player behavior system to Wild Rift is because it is something you've shared with us that is important to have in-game. However, there are a few other reasons why we want to. First, we feel that we need to create a system that rewards players who are good teammates as well as it could, okay? We not only want to encourage you for being a good teammate, but we also want it to feel rewarding to be one. Additionally, we wanted to make sure that we created a warning system that was effective at warning you whenever you're near being in trouble. This new system was created to solve those issues as well as a few others, like making sure we created a system with text that was easy to read and navigate. By the way guys, if you're enjoying this video, click on the like button, put down a comment under the video to enter the skin giveaway. I'll pick winners for this month and last month at the end of this month. 6 skins are being picked, so just put down a comment under the video. New look, new me. First thing you'll notice about the behavior system is its interface. At the center of the interface is your player behavior score. If your score increases or decreases, you'll see it whenever you head to this tab. Additionally, if you are in penalty state, a pop-up bubble will appear and tell you why you're currently penalized. You'll also be able to see all the privileges and restrictions you may face depending on your ranking. The most important part of the new interface is your player behavior score, which is this number. At launch, your score can be between 0 and 330. As your rank changes, a special animation effect of increasing or decreasing will show every time you enter the player behavior tab. Depending on if your score is good, is in a good standing or bad, special update will show. So this obviously is bad because this is red. Don't worry though. If you're ever confused about why your player behavior score is increased or dressed, there's a tab with the interface you can tap, which will show you the history of your score for the past 30 days. This history will include the changed score and the reason why it changed. If it changed for good, you can know and continue to implement that behavior in your game. On the other hand, if it changes for the worse, you can also know what you did and make adjustments so you can bring your score back up. So it shows you like you were insulting people or whatever, or you were AFK, stuff like that. We all have bad days or make mistakes. So if your player behavior score starts to fall, or you want to just bring it up in general, with the new interface you'll be able to simply tap a button and a list will be pulled up. This list will have tasks that you can complete to improve your score. So like when you receive 2 or more likes from non-pre-made party members, so if you get more likes, you're gonna get higher player score. That's funny. Play 30 games without committing any violations to receive a mini fortitude card. Wow, 30 games though, that's quite a lot. And player behavior score rewards. Now let's talk about the fun stuff. Being rewarded for being a good teammate. Within the new system, there will be a special reward track. This track will display the privileges and restrictions, as well as letting you know what rewards, effect, and restrictions you can enjoy or not enjoy. The track will allow you to collect different rewards as your ranking increases. Once your score reaches a certain number, you'll also unlock a special reward treasure chest. Some of the rewards you can earn are fortitude cards, victory boost cards, epic skin trial cards, and more. I mean, these don't really matter much, but whatever. However, whenever your rank drops below a certain value, you will be dealt the following restriction. Here comes the real stuff. Game mode participation restriction. Hell yeah, so you cannot play ranked when you're below a certain number. It's frustrating when you queue up to play and have someone in your on your team who's not being a good teammate and ruining the experience for everyone. Indeed it is. If your behavior in game is like this, you will be restricted from adventure modes, rank, PvP, all modes except for bots. So at some point when you get to a certain number, you're gonna have to play like 10 bot matches to get back. So like you're gonna go into these boring ass matches until you're finally able to play PvP, and then you can play rank. So basically don't get yourself at low points, because you're gonna have to waste a lot of time to get out of this. Like you're gonna waste so much time playing against stupid bots, stupid game modes stupid PvP games and until you can finally play the rank matches. So this is great. This is amazing. We also want to share that again, our main goal is to encourage good in-game behavior and warn and penalize those who aren't being a good teammate. We'll be listening to your feedback over the course of this patch and all future ones. And based on your feedback, we'll evaluate and see if adjustments to the rewards or restrictions are needed. Please let us know if this system feels rewarding for when you're a good teammate and if the restrictions are clear. GG. This is overall what the new player behavior system will look like on launch. We'll be listening to your feedback, so please send it our way. We'll also be looking to make updates to the system patch over patch, and we'll have more detailed numbers for the system in our patch notes. In the meantime, continue to be a good teammate, good games, and we'll see you on the Rift. Something I'm scared of over here. You know, I'm a content creator. I have a lot of people that like me, but I also have a lot of people that dislike me. Think about it. Like, if this is abusable, let's say, you know, there's like a group of people that dislike me, and they simply dislike me after the game just because they dislike me and because I'm known in the game, right? And there's some other people that are known as well. Would that affect my score? So like getting a downvote in a game, does that affect this player behavior system? I'm gonna assume it does. Especially if you get downvoted for like assisting the enemy team. Imagine you have a bad game. Like imagine I have a very bad game, or like anyone really. Imagine you have a game where you go 0-7, but you genuinely did your best, right? Like you genuinely did your best. We all have those games sometimes. But then all of your teammates and the enemies downvote you. Imagine you get 9 downvotes even though you did your best. The system is not going to know you did your best. The system is simply going to see stats. It's going to see that you got downvoted by everyone, and it's going to see that you went 0-7. So the system is going to determine that you completely ran down the game, makes you lose like 50 points, and then maybe you're going to be kicked out of rank simply for having a bad day. This is the only thing I'm scared of, right? Like stuff like this. Well, actually, there's one more thing I'm scared of, that people that just always troll, that they find a way around the system. I'm not sure if there is, but like maybe the system, like there's things that it won't detect. Because as I said, it could falsely detect you trolling. So there's definitely going to be things in the system that is going to pay attention to some things that even if you go 0-7, it won't detect you to be trolling. Maybe if you run around, it's not going to detect it. But like, you know, imagine the trolls know about this stuff as well, and then they can troll while also not being detected by the system. This is slightly complicated, and I know Riot, you know, that they probably think about this stuff as well. But we'll see. We'll see. This is amazing. This is amazing. I love it. So let's talk about the rest. Ranked season 18. Wow, we're 18 seasons in. That's 4.5 years of Wild Rift. Jeez. Wild Rift came out. How old was I? I was 20 years old when Wild Rift came out. Wow, I was 19 years old when I was just thinking about playing Wild. No, I was actually 19 when Wild Rift came out. Crazy. Because in the beginning there was, 19, because the game has been out for 5 years already. First I was playing an NA server. I remember that. The game came out first. Or SCA, whatever it was. We're gearing up for the next season of Ranked. You'll be able to queue up for season 18 of Ranked on July 18th. So today, Ranked is going to be closed. It's going to be the end of this season. Let me know in the comments what rank you guys were able to achieve. I reached Legendary Challenger. And I stopped ranking at that. And yeah, that's pretty good. I reached the Legendary Challenger rank. I was like top 300 in the server or something, which is pretty good without even really trying. Maybe I will push to Legend next season. We'll see. Maybe. I'm very busy with my house right now because, oh yeah, in case you don't know, I'm building my own house. I bought my house and I'm building all kinds of stuff. If you want to follow this story, follow me on Instagram. The link is in the description. I'm posting vlogs every single day on, like, you know, building my house, my kitchen, my garden, everything. So if you're interested in that stuff, follow me on Instagram. I'm posting a lot over there right now. So, Wild Pass. I don't really buy the bot pass, so for me, I'm gonna skip this. Look, if you wanna read this, pause the video right now, and then pause the video right here. Events, I'm sorry guys, I'm also not gonna read this. Pause the video here if you wanna read it. I'll let you guys pause. Okay, I'm just gonna move to the important stuff. Okay, we're gonna guess what's gonna happen. For Varus, we don't need to guess. Varus, these are champion changes, by the way. Varus is very, very obviously broken. Giga broken, so he's just getting nerfed. The question is, how hard is he getting nerfed? And I'm also curious if AP Varus will get brought back again. I feel like low-key, they're of course gonna nerf normal Varus, but I for some reason feel like they're gonna reduce his base damage but increase his AP scaling. We'll see. Varus is currently overpowering when synergizing with certain items. Hell yeah. They're talking about Essence Reef for 2094's Riftmaker, by the way. His passive attack speed scaling often overflows. Yep, it does. Limiting viable build paths. And his high mixed burst damage makes him difficult to counter. Yeah. Therefore, we're aiming to bring him back towards a more traditional marksman role while maintaining multiple viable playstyles. I actually think that's what's gonna happen. So we'll see. Updated the ability icons of Varus. Okay. This is his passive. So this is already a very important change. Normally, defeating an enemy grants attack speed, which lasts 5 to 8 seconds, depending on your level. And it gives you 60% when you kill an enemy champion. Not only killing them, also assisting them. So basically, the first kill in a teamfight, you're gonna permanently get 60% attack speed. And then you get another kill, you're just completely destroying the enemy. And if you kill a minion, you get 30% attack speed. Now, the non-champion kills will give you 10 to 20% attack speed. But it lasts 5 to 11 seconds. So late game. Wait, what is this? So non-champion kills give you 10 to 20. Only non-champion kills. So killing an enemy champion doesn't give you the big 60% anymore. 5, 7, 9, 11, and then depending on these levels. But then also, you gain additional attack speed, attack damage, and ability power equal to 1000%. Of what? 1000% of what? What, like, who the hell wrote this? Did you just throw this in ChatGPT and ask, like, okay, just write down what this passive does? I feel like even ChatGPT would have done a better job at this, because what the hell is this? Like, what do you mean gain additional attack speed, attack damage, and ability power equal to 1000%? If anyone understands what the hell this means, just let me know in the comments. Well, whatever. I don't know what this does, whether it's a buff or a nerf. No idea. Let's take a look at the first ability. New. Arrow damage and blight explosion damage. Oh, this is huge. Oh, this is huge. This is such a massive nerf. Because they're, of course, gonna nerf the damage overall, right? Let me read this first, and then I'll explain to you guys what this means. So, the first ability damage, the overall damage of this is increased massively. Look at this. From 20 to 170, now it's 70 to 250. And 5% extra attack damage. So the arrow itself will do a lot more damage, especially when you charge it up. But now, when you proc blight stacks, your second ability is the blight stacks. When you basic attack an enemy, you're going to apply 1 to 3 blight stacks on them. Normally, with the old Varus, you could put 3 stacks on them and just auto-aim your first ability, instantly shoot it, instantly half-life them. Now, if you charge up your first ability, if you charge it up fully, it is gonna end up doing 50% more blight damage. So again, I'm assuming that the second ability is now gonna do less overall damage, and you're gonna be reliant on actually charging up the first ability to do reliable damage with it. So now, on to the second ability. When detonating champions or epic jungle camps blight stacks. Epic jungle camps, that's Dragon and Herald. I think that's only Dragon and Herald and stuff. You're gonna reduce the base ability cooldown by 13%. Up to 39%. So, not only are you gonna reduce the first ability cooldown, you're also gonna reduce the second ability cooldown when you proc the blight stacks. Okay. Also new, detonating 1 stack of Blight deals a maximum of 120 damage to jungle camps. 3 stack at 360. Wait, isn't this already in the game? I'm pretty sure that it's already at 360, well, whatever. The basic attack on hit damage is going up and more ability power. So he is getting more ability power. Detonating the Blight stacks. There we go. This is exactly what I talked to you guys about. This is going down massively. 1.5%. This is a lot. Like this is a lot. But as I said, what did I just say? His AP is getting buffed. What did I just say? So like indeed, they're nerfing him overall, but they're making the individual paths better. So like you can go poking Varus because his arrow does more damage. You can go AP Varus because this does more damage, the blighted stacks. But you can also go on hit damage because of these changes. These ones, this one, and this one, which will allow you to proc the attacks faster because you have a lot of attack speed. So what else is happening? Active. The next piercing arrow deals 8 to 16% of the target missing health as bonus damage, increased by 0 to 50% based on charge time. Yeah, this is what I mean. So now, oh, but this is actually the same, isn't it? But these percentages are lower. This used to be like, I think the old Varus has a lot higher percentage than this. Active, blighted quiver passive base attack damage is doubled for 6 seconds. So this is the same. Something I'm not understanding is where is the nerf actually? Is this the nerf? Because like, sure, this percentage is getting nerfed. Is this really all they're nerfing? From 5 to 6.5 is now 3.5 to 5. I mean, sure, this nerfs the overall Varus, right? Like this nerfs the big thing of Varus. But I feel like this is actually going to make Varus better in the game in some ways. Like you can now play poke Varus, you can now play AP Varus. No, actually, I think overall Varus will be weaker. This change hurts him a lot. Like 6.5% times 3 is 19.5%, which he would easily be able to do. And now it's only going to be 5%. So like when you have full stacks, he's going to do 4.5% maximum HP damage less, which is actually quite a lot. So I think, yeah, this is overall nerf. Zeri, I'm pretty sure Zeri is getting buffed. Let's take a look. Yeah, Zeri has been underperforming recently, so we've reworked her kit to zap her gameplay back to life. They've reworked her, okay. Previously, her strength has been heavily tied to specific enchanter supports, forcing our balance decisions around those pairings. We want her to form consistently well with a wider range of support partners, so we've removed her shield-based interactions. Oh, she's not gonna steal shield anymore. And shifted the former first ability passive into her base passive. To enhance the impact of her ultimate, she can now extend its duration by attacking enemies and chaining lightning through overcharged splash effect. We've also adjusted the crit scaling and damage structure across her abilities, which are currently undertuned, to ensure healthier, more reliable performance overall. Okay, let's have a read through everything. She doesn't get movement speed when she's shielded anymore. Zeri shields herself for 60% of the damage she deals to shields. That is also removed. 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Alright. There's a new passive. Base attack fires a burst of 6 rounds in the target direction. Wait, what is that? Base attack fires a burst? Oh, that's her normal basic attack. What is being changed over here? Zeri's attack speed is capped at 1.5 times. I think this is just the exact same thing. This feels like just the exact same thing. Okay. خالو. بس نيقها ربع ساعة, okay? Sorry, guys. So yeah, the first ability. If this ability kills an enemy, it refunds 50% of its cooldown and 100% of its mana cost, so you can farm waves with this now. The slow effect decays over the duration of the ability. Okay. So you can farm waves a lot better with this now. Interesting. But yeah, this ability's passive effect has been moved to Living Battery. Yeah, that's... Yeah, okay. This is overall a buff up until now. I haven't seen much here. I feel like this is the exact same though. But now you can simply just farm better. Second ability, it now does physical damage. Okay, I feel like that's a nerf because now she's more reliant on physical damage. Her third ability, this is new on her third ability. Zeri deals a bonus of, let me see, magic damage to the first target hit based on her critical rate. So the more crit she gets, the more damage she will do to the target in front. Because, fun fact, third ability, it actually used to do more damage to the enemy behind the first enemy you hit. Funny how that worked. So like you would do more damage to the enemy that was behind the initial enemy you're hitting. But now, you are going to do the bonus damage to the first enemy. And then Zeri deals 0 to 95% damage to the target behind the first target. It now just goes up a little bit. It just goes up. Hitting an enemy champion with an attack reduces its ability cooldown by 1 second. Hitting a champion with an attack reduces its ability cooldown by 1 second. Hitting an enemy champion with an attack reduces the ability cooldown by 0.5, and critical strikes reduce it by 1.5. So you clearly want to go full crit Zeri right now. You don't really want to go for the Trinity Force build anymore. Dude, how many changes are in her kit, man? What is this about? Her ult. So now her ult discharges a nova of electricity upon hitting an enemy champion. She gains 10% movement speed. So now she's not reliant on hitting shielded enemies. She just gets movement speed when she hits an enemy champion during her ult. And then she gains 10% movement speed and 30% attack speed that can bypass her attack speed cap for 5 seconds. Okay, so lethal tempo plus ult, you're gonna be a machine gun. Hitting an enemy champion with an ability or attack extends this ability duration and adds 1 stack of overcharge for 1.5 seconds. So you're gonna have this effect for 1.5 extra seconds. Instead of 5, you're gonna have 1.5 extra for every attack. Critical strikes add 3 stacks. Each stack grants you movement speed. But wait a minute. What's the cap? Like until how many seconds? Like what's the cap? During this time, her attack becomes a faster triple shot. She gains 25% attack speed. Yeah, that's the same. And she does bonus magic damage, chained to nearby enemies. Oh, they're changing it actually. During this attack, her attack becomes a faster triple shot that chains to nearby enemies to deal 25% attack damage. That's it. No more ability power. Just attack damage. She gets 30% attack speed rather than 25. And now she just gets 25% attack damage rather than 15% ability power. And yeah, that's it. It's just more damage. But then they also removed the 8 stacks of overcharge for each champion hit while active, kills or participation. So you're not gonna extend the duration with kills anymore. You're simply gonna extend it by attacking the enemy. And I feel like it just goes infinitely. They haven't added a cap or anything like that. It just keeps stacking up. So whenever you ult in a teamfight, it's like Olaf's ultimate. You can keep going. So essentially, if you're against a Zeri, you really want to just stay away from her when she ults, which is of course going to be very difficult because she's not going to ult in a stupid way. You don't want to fight her when she's fully ulted. Oh, I need to make a video on this. This looks broken to me. Ashe. I feel like Ashe is going to get buffed. Specifically her first ability, just overall damage. She needs more damage. Man, there's so much in this patch. What the hell? Ashe's passive has long suffered from clarity issues. Yeah, because people don't really understand how it works with the crit doing extra damage, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like they're going to make it clear now. Its damage was hard to gauge in the early game. And even at 100% crit chance, it failed to trigger bonus effects unless the target was slowed. Correct. You would have to hit a target twice to proc it. To improve clarity and consistency, we've reworked her passive. Additionally, her first ability often posed a dilemma on when to cast, creating unnecessary pressure when in frosty situations. So we're restructuring its activation and effect. Now, once Ashe builds it up enough stacks, she can freely unleash a fury of arrows, no guesswork required. Ashe deals 10% plus 100% critical rate. That's how it normally works. To targets slowed. Now she is simply gonna do the bonus damage. 10% plus 100% critical rate, bonus damage to anyone. You don't need to slow them anymore. So this is a buff. Your initial attack is already gonna be buffed. So that's just a buff. Her first ability now, the new thing is gain 1 stack of focus by attacking. Lasts for 4 seconds. The ability can be casted when there is 4 stacks. The cooldown, it has no cooldown. Oh my god, it has no cooldown. But Ranger's focus does not provide stacks when active. So you're gonna start at 0 stacks rather than 2 stacks right now. Okay, interesting. For the next 6 seconds, attacks consume focus to gain attack speed, Yeah, you just gain attack speed. And focus stacks up to 6 stacks. It's now only 4 stacks. So you can only stack it 4 times, but you're going to be able to shoot it infinitely. Essentially, you're going to attack the enemy normally 4 times, and then you're going to have 4 buffed attacks. Normally 4 times, and then 4 buffed attacks. You can also activate it a bit earlier, but sure, I like this more. This indeed takes away the guesswork, makes her a bit easier to play. Jinx. I feel like Jinx is going to get buffed. She got nerfed recently, but I feel like it was a bit too much of a nerf. Jinx's late game mana limit often prevents her from using fish bones to her advantage. And we don't want her mana consumption to be limitation to her late game performance. So we're removing that limitation so she can wreak havoc. Get Excited. There's a new passive. When Get Excited is triggered, so when she gets a kill or assist, she restores 10% missing mana. That's an interesting change. So like if you shoot rockets at the enemy and you lose all of your mana, but you get a kill, you're gonna just regain 10%. Okay. Misfortune. What about Misfortune? I feel like she's getting nerfed. Misfortune's passive has continued to underperform. Wow, interesting. I wouldn't say that, but interesting. Following the previous adjustments, to reinforce her identity as a burst-oriented marksman, we're shifting some of her sustained damage into burst damage, while also improving the clarity and feedback of her passive activation. New thing, at 3 stacks, you're gonna do bonus physical damage to the target, just immediate burst damage. They're not nerfing anything, you are simply just also gonna do bonus damage after 3 attacks. But using your first ability applies the full stacks of the love tab. Will that count as 3 stacks? It does, because it applies all of the stacks. So that means your first ability, the second part, is gonna do an immense amount of damage, because on top of the immense damage it already does, it's now also gonna do this as an extra. And mind you, this scales with crit, so you wanna go for crit Misfortune now. Vayne. I feel like Vayne is gonna get buffed. She feels a little bit too weak to me. Vayne's second ability was overly strong against high health champions. She's getting nerfed. Wow. In the early stages of the game, looking at you top lane Vayne, to address this, we've adjusted the mechanics of her second ability, making its activation less punishing and more forgiving in terms of timing. Active. You gain attack speed for the next 3 attacks within 5 seconds and heal for percentage damage dealt. Now you gain 15 to 30% attack speed. Oh, and 10% Omnivamp. For 3 seconds, not for the next 3 attacks, for the next 3 seconds. So the attack speed is a lot less, especially early game, but you also get Omnivamp. So like if you're in the middle of a fight and activate this ability, it's going to be very helpful in a big team fight. But top lane Vayne, it's going to be weaker. Tryndamere needs the biggest buff ever, so let's take a look. Bonus attack speed, he's getting nerfed. What is this? Tryndamere converts critical above 100% attack damage. Instead of 0.8, now it's 1 per 1% critical rate. So he does more damage but less attack speed. And then his ultimate will give him a bit more attack speed late game. This is not enough. Tryndamere is still gonna be trash. Kindred. I think Kindred is gonna get buffed. So passive, mark auto refresh interval on monsters. Okay, so she's gonna get the interval refresh faster on the monsters, so she can stack a little bit easier. Cooldown for using active mark on enemy champions is also lower, so if you put a mark on an enemy, you now only have to wait 40 seconds to put it on another enemy. Cooldown for marking the same enemy is also getting reduced, so you can mark the same enemy more often. All of this is overall buff and will help you get more stacks on Kindred. I know there's a guy that I coach that loves to play Kindred. He's gonna love these changes, so yeah, that's gonna be great for him. Rammus, I feel like is getting nerfed. What is happening? His second ability does more damage. Oh, he's getting buffed? His second ability is doing more base damage or bass damage. Man, Riot is really lacking right here. Like, why are they miswriting so many things? And then Soaring Slam, which is the ultimate, cooldown gets reduced as well. So Rammus is getting buffed. I already thought Rammus was really good, but like it seems like he needs to get buffed or something. Okay. Is that Rakan? Rakan should get buffed in my opinion. Yeah, more base health. His passive, he's gonna get the shield faster. Yes. Instead of waiting 40 seconds, he now has to wait 35. And even late game, instead of 14.8, it's 14 seconds. Okay. His first ability does more base damage, which is actually quite good, because if you max this ability, you know, it's gonna do a lot of base damage. And it's also gonna regenerate more, especially early game. Like, this is massive. 56 healing early game. Mind you, everyone has like 500, 600 health early game. So healing 56 health for you and your teammate is massive with this ability. This is a huge buff, huge buff. Especially for tank Rakan. Second ability also does more damage. Keys is gonna love these changes. Like, he's absolutely gonna love it. Let's take a look at this. We've been battling in Bandor Rift for some time right now, and as our exploration deepens, some items have become infused with Bandor magic, causing their mechanics to mutate. Okay, let's take a look. We're gonna go through this one pretty quickly. Yordle Redemption. So this is Redemption. Is gonna have less ability haste, and now this item will trigger with no allies nearby, so you're constantly healing. It's basically like having a Warmog. Of course, not as strong as Warmog, but you're constantly healing up. Huge buff to this item. Yordle Sunfire Aegis. At max Immolate stacks, leave behind a burning trail that deals magic damage equal to a percentage of bonus health. So if you have a lot of bonus health, this is going to do a lot of damage if the enemies chase you. So if you're a tank and the enemies are chasing you, you're going to destroy them with this. Yordle Harmonic Echo is going to be cheaper. It's going to give you 15 less ability power. Harmonic Echo is applied to the main target. It bounces to a nearby allied champion, healing them for 50% of the effect. Harmonic Echo also revitalizes the main target, restoring 2% of their maximum health per second over 3 seconds. Wow. This is insane, the buff. So now, not only will you heal 2 people with the Harmonic Echo, 50% on the other, the main target is going to heal 6% of their maximum health over 3 seconds. So if you heal a tank with Harmonic Echo, you're gonna heal them by a lot. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. Imagine an Olaf running you down, and then his support heals him, applies Ardent Sensor, and it's gonna allow him to restore all of this bonus maximum HP. This is disgusting. Huge change. Because this is also gonna reapply the Ardent Sensor for 3 seconds. So this is gonna effectively give your ADC or whoever you're healing an Ardent Sensor buff for 3 extra seconds if you go Ardent Sensor and Harmonic Echo. Disgusting changes. Yordle Liandry's Torment. Damage per second? Oh my god. Instead of scaling with ability power, is now 0.6 up to 2%, depending on your level, I believe. Maximum health. So Singed is back. This is Singed. Oh, there's more. Every 4 seconds, Torment deals damage to an enemy. It will detonate the target, dealing 40 plus 5% ability power, true damage. Oh yeah, Singed is gonna be just beyond broken with this. This is truly disgusting. All of the items, I feel like all of the items are gonna get buffed. Inferno, what is this? Yeah, Yordle Infinity Orb. 5 less ability power. When an enemy champion dies within 3 seconds of taking the inevitable demise effect, a lightning bolt strikes the spot where they died, dealing magic damage to nearby enemies. Okay, so if you execute an enemy, imagine Katarina executing 2 enemies, and then there's gonna be lightning that does even more damage to everyone else. Yordle Seruda's Grudge. 200 gold more expensive. Apply Frostbite to enemies slowed by ice for 6 seconds. At 3 Frostbite stacks, all stacks are consumed to apply Bleed on the target, dealing damage over 2 seconds, and it also applies Grievous Wounds. Why on earth would you go Mortal Reminder if now Seruda's Grudge also applies Grievous Wounds? What? Okay, this is crazy. This is also going to be the most broken item ever. Yordle Duskblade of Draktar. 5 less attack damage. Become invisible for 1 second upon getting a kill. Wow. So if you assassinate an enemy, you just become invisible. Imagine this on Kha'Zix. Oh my god. Wow. You just become invisible after you get a kill. It's on an assassin, on Zed. Wow. Yordle's Runan's Hurricane. The range is a lot less. You also get less damage. Now I'm wondering, what is the change? Like, you get less damage from it? Every 2 attacks, your next attack fires 1 additional bolt at targets, dealing 10% attack power, physical damage, and applying on-hit effects. This sounds terrible, because overall you're doing less damage, and every 2 attacks you fire 1 additional bolt. But it only does 10% attack power, physical damage, and applies on-hit effects. I don't know, this sounds terrible, but we're gonna have to see, because the range is less and whatever, we're gonna have to see. Yordle's Death's Dance. You store physical damage taken, store physical damage and magic damage taken. Oh my god. So you store both damage. Only true damage is not what you're not going to store. Critical Strike, Marksman, rework. We've made a batch of adjustments to Marksman items, allowing Marksman champions to gain greater benefits when selecting items that match their unique characteristics. In particular, we focused on adjusting the stats and mechanics of Critical Strike items, empowering Marksmen who opt for crit builds to have stronger late game dominance and greater ability to close out matches. So new items. Soul Transfer, which is 3200 gold, and when you attack Critical Strikes an enemy champion or epic monster, you summon a clone that lasts 4 seconds to attack nearby enemies. The clone inherits 25% of your attack damage and additionally gains 30% of your critical rate as attack speed. Up to 2 clones can exist at the same time. This is disgusting. Imagine playing Zeri and having 2 more Zeri clones attacking the enemy. If a clone moves more than 600 units away from you, it will disappear early. So if an enemy is diving you, you have Immortal Shield Bow and a lot of crit, you're gonna have 2 extra clones. I wonder if the damage the clones do will heal you as well if you have Vampirism. I really wonder if that's how it works. But whatever it is, I feel like this is truly broken on a lot of champions. Bloodthirster. So Bloodthirster is being made cheaper. Now it gives you attack speed. Instead of 10% physical vamp, it now gives you 8%. And attacks that critically strike gain an additional physical vamp. So you're gonna heal a lot more when you have a lot of crit. It now gives you lifeline. Damage that puts you under 35% health preemptively grants a shield. So it's the Immortal Shield Bow lifeline. But it also gives you 20 armor and magic resist. So I feel like Immortal Shield Bow is getting removed. But now, when you're full HP or above 50%, you don't get bonus damage anymore from Bloodthirster. That's what it used to do. Navori Quickblade. It gives you 5 less attack damage, 15 less ability haste, but now 15% attack speed. Critical attacks reduce your non-ultimate cooldowns by 15% instead of 20, so it's less. But now, your abilities deal up to 12% increased damage based on your critical rate. You're reducing the cooldown of your abilities, so naturally you'd want your abilities to do more damage. Wow. So, wow, this is all gonna change the game so much. Magnetic Blaster. It now gives you 25 attack damage instead of 0, but 25% attack speed instead of 35. Energized attacks generation speed increases for 25%. It grants 125 additional range. Okay, this is what it did before. Now, you get a little bit less range. A little bit less, yes. You're gonna do the same bonus magic damage. Oh, but now you also get movement speed, which is really good on Jhin. This damage will bounce to enemies. It will bounce to enemies and it can crit. What? It will bounce. That's crazy. But I wonder if the effect bounces as well, because if you get a Storm Razor, you're gonna slow the enemy. I don't think it will bounce. I don't think it will bounce. The slow, like the damage will bounce, and it can crit, which just allows you to do ridiculous amounts of poke damage. Mortal Reminder, it's cheaper now. It does less damage, and it gives more attack speed. It gives 30% armor penetration instead of 33. Attacks that critically strike gain an additional 6%. So, okay, Mortal Reminder gives you a lot more armor penetration now. So if truly the enemy has a lot of armor, like Rammus, Malphite, you would want to go Mortal Reminder rather than this Ruthless Grudge. The Collector. This item needs a buff. So yeah, 5 extra attack damage, death and taxes. Dealing damage that would leave an enemy champion below 5% maximum health executes them. Now, dealing damage that would leave an enemy champion below 4% plus 2% critical rate, 2% critical rate executes them, permanently increasing the max health percentage execution threshold by 0.1%. Oh, wait, so 4% plus 2% crit rate. What does this mean, 2% crit rate? If you have 100% crit rate, you're gonna have 6% execution. And then if you execute an enemy, you're permanently getting 0.1 extra. So if you get like 10 kills with this, you're gonna execute enemies at 1% extra. I feel like if they brought this to 0.25, this would be a good item. But whatever. And I also think Collector needs to give you more gold. I think the item Collector should give you less damage, so like maybe 30 attack damage, but then it should give you like 100 gold when you execute an enemy in my, or like 75. That's what I think this item needs to do. Essence Reaver. It's 50 gold cheaper, 5 less attack damage. Now it uses Sheen, And Spellblade. Casting an ability generates a Spellblade charge, max 3 charges, that lasts up to 10 seconds. Hitting an enemy with an attack consumes a charge, dealing 90% base attack damage and as physical damage and granting 40 movement speed for 2 seconds. It's like Trinity Force. This bonus damage can critically strike. Each ability generates only 1 charge per 2 seconds. So you can't build Essence Reefer and Trinity Force anymore because it's the same passive. Phantom Dancer. 200 gold cheaper. 5 less attack damage, but 10% extra attack speed. Gain 7% movement speed for 3 seconds when your attacks hit a champion. Bonuses do not stack. After 4 attacks, that's what it used to do. You gain attack speed. Now you simply gain the attack speed and movement speed for 3 seconds when your attacks hit a champion. And then attacks that critically strike while the bonuses are active extend their duration by 1 second. Bonuses do not stack. Attacks will lose cooldown by 1 second of this ability. So you can permanently have like 25% attack speed, 7% if you keep attacking the enemy. It's really important you just keep attacking the enemy. But if you attack them a few times and then go out and then again a few times, this item will be useless. This is really an item that wants you to keep fighting for a long time. Infinity Edge, Limit Break. When your total critical rate gained from items exceeds 100%, every 1% excess critical rate grants you 0.6% critical strike damage. Okay. So you're gonna end up with like 15% extra damage with around that when you get 5 critical items. Sure, that sounds pretty good. Ardent Sensor needs to get nerfed, by the way. When you heal or shield an allied champion other than yourself, their attacks deal bonus damage, yes. Now, when you heal or shield an allied champion, their attacks will do less damage. Okay. Oh my god, but this damage can critically strike. So if your ADC has crit, he's gonna do even more damage with this. That is truly disgusting. So this is actually a buff for the ADCs. Gnasher's Tooth. It now does 15 to 20% bonus attack damage, so that's less, but more magic damage. Okay, so Gnasher's Tooth is more for magic damage champions now, rather than ADCs. So they really want you to go crit as an ADC now. Wit's End is more expensive. Again, a non-crit item is being nerfed, and it does less damage. Funny. Enchanted items rework. Dude, how much stuff is there over here? We've revamped the enchanted items so the different types of champions of each lanes are now offered suitable options. Several previously underused or difficult to use enchantments have been reworked, and we've introduced new ones to make champion matchups more dynamic and engaging. Now we have Stridebreaker, which is 500 gold. It allows you to dash a short distance and it does damage. It's like Protobelt, but it does percentage of your physical damage to nearby enemies, and it slows them. Absolutely broken on Fiora, by the way. Gore Drinker deals 280% base damage as physical damage to nearby enemies. Restore equal to 20% attack damage plus 12% missing health. Isn't this the same as the thing that we already have in the game? What is that thing called that does damage around you and it heals you every 10 seconds? I don't know what it's called. I always build it on a red cane. I don't know what it's called, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But I guess now we have Gore Drinker, which is very similar to it, but just stronger. Because it also heals you based on missing health. Gale Force, 500 gold. Dash in a target direction and fire 3 missiles at the lowest health enemy at your destination. Prioritizing champions, it does bonus damage, but this is really good on champions that don't have a lot of mobility, like Jhin, for example. Glorious Enchant. Instead of gaining 15% movement speed when moving towards an enemy champion, you gain 75%. Now you simply get 30%. You will always get a lot of movement speed. And then normally you slow the enemy by 50% for 2 seconds. Now you unleash a shockwave that slows enemy champions in rage by 60% for 2 seconds. And it grants you 20% tenacity and slow resist for 3 seconds. So not only will you slow the enemy more, you are also going to be more tenacious. They can't stop you. This is really meant for you to go in and for the enemies to not be able to stop you. So it will also counter CC. You're not going to have to go QSS on Nasus anymore. Just activate the Glorious Enchant and engage. You'll have the tenacity that QSS gives you passively for a few seconds. Stoneplate, please nerf Stoneplate. Gain a base shield that absorbs 28% maximum health. Now you gain a base shield that absorbs damage equal to 20% of maximum health. Okay. But then every one bonus armor and magic resist you have increases the shield by 0.1% up to 35%. So now, this is not just going to be disgustingly broken on carry Vi in the jungle. This is only going to be really good on tanks that have a lot of armor and magic resist. Or a lot of HP, because it skills with HP. For every enemy nearby, gain an additional shield that absorbs damage equal to 10% of maximum health, kept at 3 enemies. Now, for every enemy nearby, gain an additional shield that absorbs damage equal to 5% of maximum health, and then again, the bonus armor magic resist is going to increase it more. Repulsor. The cooldown gets reduced. Instead of knockback nearby enemies, now it's delayed by 0.5 seconds. But you will knock them back and stun them. This is so you cannot counter Katarina and Samira as easily with it anymore, because you'll give them a window of 0.5 seconds to ult. But now the repulsor will stun enemies as well, which is actually very, very strong. So if an assassin goes onto your backline, you can repulse them to not only knock them back, but also stun them. However, they have 0.5 seconds to counter it. Protobot gets a lower cooldown. And then upon hitting a target, it reduces the target's magic resist by 30% for 3 seconds. That is huge, by the way. And then after casting it, you get movement speed. On Ahri, huge. On Evelynn, disgusting. You're gonna go in, immediately shred their magic resist and just destroy them. I'm wondering, however, if you have 5 items will give you 35% magic penetration. Magic resist penetration, if this stacks on top of it. I don't think it does, but that would be the most broken thing ever. Veil. Grant a spell shield blocking the next hostile ability for 3 seconds. Now it removes disables and crowd control effects. So it's a cleanse. It's a cleanse. And if the ally is not affected by any such effects, they will gain the spell shield for 3 seconds. So that's a massive buff to Veil. Not only is it now a spell shield, it is also a cleanse. If you get knocked up by Malphite, your support can actually save you out of it with the Veil. Disgusting. Dreammaker, that's the one with the bubbles. Gain a blue dream bubble and a purple dream bubble every 8 seconds. Grants an ally active heals or shields. Blows both dream bubbles to them, empowering them for 3 seconds. Now you gain a blue dream bubble and a purple dream bubble every 6 seconds rather than 8 seconds. Granting an ally active heals or shield. Blows both bubbles to them, empowering them for 3 seconds. And the blue dream bubble reduces their next incoming damage by 70 to 140. And the purple dream bubble grants their next hit 20 to 90 bonus magic damage. Both dream bubbles now grant their next hit 15 to 90 bonus magic damage and 15 to 30% movement speed. So this is like a passive. You can't activate this enchantment. It's just continuously going to give bonus damage and movement speed and tankiness to your ADC or whatever. Magnetron enchant. Cast towards an allied minion, allied champion, or jungle monster. You dash behind them and gain 30% movement speed. Yes. Now you can cast it in a target direction. You can cast it anywhere. And if you hit an allied minion, allied champion, or wall, you dash to them. Oh, so you still have to dash to a minion or a wall. You can dash to a wall, by the way. What the hell? You can dash to a wall. You're going to get 30% movement speed. If no target is hit, 50% of the cooldown is refunded. Wait, but if you hit a wall, does that count as no target? So can you dash through walls all the time? What? Okay. Ravenous Hydra. This is what I was talking about. Like Gore Drinker is very similar to this. Deal damage to nearby enemies and restore health. Now, when activated, your attacks over the next 9 seconds will do physical damage equal to the attack damage as splash damage. Okay, so they're completely changing this. And now Gore Drinker is the one that does the same effect as the Ravenous Hydra. Melee attacks deal splash damage in a bigger area. So this one is really good if you want to fight for a long time and just basically have splash damage. So again, I'm thinking about Olaf, for example, with this one. Oh, baby. We're getting Hullbreaker back, dude. Hullbreaker is coming back. Wow. Okay, what's happening? It's 3100 gold, 400 max health, 45 attack damage, 4% movement speed, and then every 5th attack against champions and epic monsters deals a bonus physical damage equal to 160% base damage plus 5% of your maximum health. Ranged champions do less damage. Increase to 240% attack damage plus 9% maximum bonus as physical damage against structures. Oh my god, so every 5th attack does a lot of bonus damage to turrets. And then also nearby allied siege and super minions will get the armor again and the magic resist. And then 25% if you're a ranged champion. So ranged champion should not be building this. Okay. And then of course, Allies, I think the passive is also going to be there where allies cannot be too close to you for this to be active. It's not written here, but again, I feel like they missed it because they've made a lot of mistakes in these patch notes anyways. Eclipse is 100 gold more expensive. Gives you 5 extra attack damage, and now it's 7% of the target's health, the damage that it does. So it just gives you a little bit extra damage. Last Whisper is a little bit cheaper now, but it gives no attack damage at all, and it gives less armor penetration. So Last Whisper is just getting nerfed. You don't just want to have a Last Whisper anymore. It's terrible. But it's a lot cheaper though, actually. Questionable. Nashor's Talon, that's the component to Nashor's Tooth, is getting nerfed. Actually, no, it's getting adjusted. Yeah, it's just getting nerfed, because when you fully build Nash... Yeah, it is just getting nerfed. Wow, okay. You don't want to have this one anymore, this component. Kirchi Shard, whatever this is getting changed. I'm not gonna read through this, like whatever. Plated Steel Caps. Reduces physical damage taken. There we go. That's the change we need, because during my coaching sessions, I always say get Plated Steel Caps, because this also makes you tankier against turrets. But now it doesn't. It only makes you tankier against champions. That makes them significantly worse, and Mercury's threats are just going to be better overall. Mercury's threats are also not going to reduce damage now. Baron does magic damage, so that's the only thing that's changed about Mercury's threats. But yeah, this makes Mercury's threats better overall than Plated Steel Caps. Plated Steel Caps are still probably going to be better, but now it closes the distance between the two. Ionic Boots of Lucidity. There's a new passive, Equilibrium. Champions without mana gain 75% base health regen, so you're just gonna regenerate a little bit more health, and then same goes for the Boots of Mana. So yeah, you can build this on champions with no mana now. It's gonna regenerate more health. Could be good for tanks, we'll see. Berserker Greaves, now attacks restore 8 health on hit with the Berserker Greaves, just only a buff. They're not nerfing anything about it, sure. And then Solari is getting removed. As I said, Immortal Shieldbow would get removed. Stormrazor is getting removed. Ooh, the Meteor is getting removed. And Teleport is now a spell. Dude, there's so many changes. What is all of this? The magic of Bandle City has begun to ripple, bringing some strange and wondrous changes to the rift. Some bushes have quietly shifted position under the influence of magic, and scouts ahead report the sounds of boars and war drums echoing in the distance. Now join us as we set off to explore these magical new changes in the rift. Bushes. We've adjusted the position of certain bush areas to improve map visibility and make it easier for you to control vision. Okay, we're gonna have to see what that means. Some bushes have also been removed to reduce the danger in certain zones of the map. Okay. Easter eggs. Placing a ward in a bush has a chance to grant you a small gold bonus. Okay. Occasionally a small fish will gather in the river. I've already seen this fish, by the way. When a champion walks by, they scatter in all directions. Destroying a Blasco may randomly trigger a festive firework effect. Enchanted Piggy. At 3 minutes 30 into the match, an Enchanted Piggy will spawn at both the Baron and Dragon Pits. Okay. Defeating an Enchanted Piggy grants gold, experience, and summons a mini pig that automatically follows the player who landed the final blow. When the champion approaches an enemy attackable turret, the mini pig will charge into the turret, dealing true damage. So it's like a mini Rift Herald. Gameplay tempo adjustments. To optimize your gameplay experience, we've made comprehensive adjustments. Yeah, I know, like, let me see what the changes are. The turrets. Outer turret plating expiration date, now instead of 7.5 minutes, it's 6 minutes. So you have to get the plates a lot earlier in the match. Turret resistances. They go down early game. So you can attack turrets better early game, which makes sense because you have to take the plates faster. Outer turrets without plating are gonna have more armor and magic resist, I believe. Inner turret base resistances are gonna be less as well. Okay. Gold for destroying inner turret is gonna be more. So that's like not the outer turret, that's the last turret before the inhibitor. Team-wide gold for destroying inner turret is gonna go up as well. So this makes split pushing better. You just get more gold for your whole team and for yourself. A total of 225 extra gold for split pushing, which is a lot, by the way. Outer mid lane turret, attack interval versus minions is going to be lower. So the mid wave is going to be cleared a little bit slower by the turret in the middle lane. New. Destroying the first inner turret on the battlefield grants a yeah, they're incentivizing split pushing. Look at this. You get bonus gold. Bonus, like extra gold. If the first outer turret on a lane is destroyed before 9 minutes, its lane's inner turret gains HP shield lasting 30 seconds. You know why they're doing this? Specifically for the Chinese strategy, which puts the Rift Herald on one turret and just runs down the whole base. They are specifically doing this change to counter that playstyle. You're never going to utilize this because you're never going to take the outer turret and the inner turret within 30 seconds. This is just to counter the Chinese playstyle with the Rift Herald. If the first inner turret is destroyed before 11:30, its lane's next inhibitor turret gains 1600 HP shield for 30 seconds. Okay. Oh, so when their inhibitor respawns, it's going to be a lot more difficult to take it immediately. Sure. Minions. Mid lane minion changes. Cannon minions have less HP. They're going to have less HP late game. They're going to have more armor and more magic resist though. And this means true damage is going to be better against waves. Top lane minions. Top lane minion damage to other minions is going to be less. Solo XP share for top laners. You're going to get more experience in top lane as a top laner. I love how they say top lane, even though, you know, they should say Baron lane. They always use Baron lane because this doesn't make sense because it's not always top lane. It's also going to be bot lane. So just so you understand, this is Baron lane. These are very amateuristic mistakes, man. Like, Riot shouldn't be making these mistakes for real. Like top lane minions, I know what they mean, but there's going to be people confused because it's not always top lane. It's Baron lane. It can also be in the bot lane. If you guys are looking to hire someone, you got me. Melee minion HP growth per wave is going to be more. Range minion HP growth is going to be more. All the minions are going to skill more. Global minion scaling after 6 minutes. Okay. The Nexus shield, they removed it. The Nexus shield grants, yes, up when you kill the first turret. No. Now, at the start of the match, the Nexus gains a shield equal to 100% of its maximum HP, and then starting from 12 minutes, the shield will gradually decay over time and fully disappear by 16 minutes. And now I wonder if you attack the shield at like, you know, 10 minutes, is it gonna stay removed or is it gonna come back? It's probably gonna stay removed. Enchanted Ensemble, aka Rift Herald. It's now gonna spawn 6 minutes into the game rather than 5. It only does 50% of the turret's HP rather than 60. Post-charge effect on turrets splits into 3 instruments, now 1 random instrument monster, making it easier for defenders to handle. The stats have been adjusted, so the 1 instrument monster is going to be equally strong as the 3 monsters. It's just going to be easier to kill it. You don't have to have a big AoE damage champion like Orianna to kill them all easily. Since the Enchanted Ensemble no longer grants turret plating gold, I didn't know that was the case by the way, the summoner will now receive a 250 gold reward when the ensemble hits a turret. This is less than the turret plating because you used to get like 450 gold. So this just overall makes the Herald a lot worse than taking Dragon. Dragons also spawn 6 minutes into the game. Up until 11 minutes? No, I don't know what this means. Oh, this is supposed to say Baron. Come on, Riot, please. Like, come on. Are you serious? So yeah, the dragons just spawn a bit later. Baron spawns faster though. But Baron empowered minion damage reduction versus enemy champions. Okay, they're not going to be as tanky anymore, the minions. And then Hand of Baron buff is going to be, instead of 120 seconds, 90 seconds. Duration remains 20 seconds for the subsequent Barons. The first Baron is only going to have a 90-second duration. So like the early Baron is not going to be as strong. Elder Dragon is going to spawn 19 minutes into the game rather than 18 minutes. But it does more damage. Instead of 345, it now does 450. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage, dude. Enchanted buff is going to be faster in the game. And yeah, the evolved one as well. Objective bounties. Lowered the bounty for destroying an outer turret when it becomes an objective bounty. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So the outer turrets are going to give you less gold when they have the bounty on them, when they're golden. This makes sense because like you used to be able to take like 2 or 3 at a time. Imagine you aced the enemy, you could take like all 3 outer turrets, giving you insane amounts of gold. So they're countering that. Stylish Scorpion, aka Henry. Oh no, Henry is removed. No. Okay, well, whatever. Spells. With the adjustments to the overall gameplay tempo and the rework of enchanted items, we believe that teleport is no longer suitable as an enchantment. Given its unique strategic value, we've reclassified it as a spell. Okay. After channeling for 3.5 seconds, you're gonna teleport. It has a 180-second cooldown. I love this. So as a top laner, you can get teleport enchant and constantly teleport around. Smite, when equipped with the smite spell, golden XP gained from dealing killing blows to minions are reduced. Oh, now 6 minutes into the game, you're already gonna get the full gold. This makes me wonder, can you now play smite in top lane or as a support? Because only the first 6 minutes you're gonna get less XP and gold. We'll see. Yeah, I don't care about all of this. There's new settings. By the way, guys, I'm not gonna read through this because the video is too long. This doesn't really matter. The SVP system is now optimized to include 3 performance-based tiers: gold, silver, and bronze. Gold and silver SVPs will now receive fortitude compensation in ranked matches or legendary energy compensation in legendary mode. Even in defeat, your impactful plays won't go unrewarded. This is great, right? Like even if you get SVP, you're not gonna lose many points. Win in legendary rank to earn starlight, which can redeem for star cores. No one cares about that. Actually, in ranked, consuming a star core grants 1 extra segment per win. Okay, you just get extra points. Use the win exchange system for fairer and more efficient ranked climbing. So if you win a lot in legendary ranked, you're gonna get more points in normal ranked, but only 8 per season. Okay. Did I miss something important? As I said, like I'm gonna talk about all of this in another video, all the changes. I'll do a full video talking about the settings. What is all of this? Collector rewards, whatever. Oh, now you can have preferred position, secondary position, fill position instead of picking five positions in the order. I love this. So you can get your preferred, secondary, and then whatever. Like I'll fill this as well. Players who are assigned to their fill position will receive compensation rewards subject to a weekly limit. Full 5-player premates and players with in-game violations will not receive fill position rewards. So you cannot abuse it in a 5-man rank. And if you have violations, you're not going to get those anyway. So if you do get your filled position, you're just going to get compensation for it. Season's highest rank display in both the profile and the profile card. Display. It will now show your highest rank achieved this season instead of your current rank. Okay, nice. Rank reset adjustment. If you're in the gold or diamond 2 tiers, placement reset adjustments have been made for the new season, resulting in slight overall increase in reset placement. Ranked match score cap raised from 4,000 to 4,500. This is champion mastery. I don't really care about this stuff. So like, I'm just not going to read through it. That's it. Okay, I'm going to end the video. It's 1 hour. Sorry, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next HellsDevil video. Bye-bye.